He raised his hand in front of 50 men, and time froze. The sun scorched down on the Afghan outpost, baking the gravel beneath their boots. 50 soldiers stood in a hard line, rifles slung and mouths tight. But none of them moved. None of them spoke. They only watched, stunned, as the colonel's hand hovered inches from her cheek, trembling with rage, and something else he didn't expect to feel, fear. She didn't flinch. Captain Lena Rowe, combat medic, Bronze Star recipient, stood perfectly still. Her gaze didn't shake. Her voice didn't rise. She looked at him not with hate, but with something colder, pity. She had warned him once. Quietly, respectfully. But he kept pushing, barking orders that risked lives, mocking her in front of others, crossing lines no one else dared to. And now, in front of a full company, he had lost control. He called her a disgrace, a burden. Then he tried to strike her. He didn't know her story. Not really. Lena had spent 2 tours in Kandahar with the 3rd Ranger Battalion. She didn't carry a rifle. She carried stretchers, and sometimes bodies. Her hands had patched up shrapnel wounds in the dark with no morphine. She had felt the blood of boys barely old enough to shave soaking through her uniform. Boys who screamed for mothers she never knew. Boys she never forgot. She still heard them sometimes. In her dreams. After an IED tore through her convoy, Lena crawled on shattered legs to pull 3 soldiers from the wreckage before it exploded again. She walked with a limp now, but the limp didn't make her weak. It reminded her she had survived, what others couldn't, and that's what ate at Colonel Brandt. He didn't understand survival that didn't shout, that didn't brag. He ruled with noise. She served in silence. It started with the paperwork, then the sudden reassignments. Her team pulled from frontline support. Her authority questioned in front of privates. And the whispers, always just loud enough to hear. Just a nurse. Shouldn't even be here. She never answered. Until today, the colonel's hand shot out. Quick. Violent. A flash of fury meant to humiliate. But before it touched her, it stopped, locked in midair by her left arm. No words. No warning. With one twist, precise, brutal, and silent, the sound of snapping bone cracked through the air like a rifle shot. The colonel dropped to his knees, gasping. His arm dangled. Useless .50 soldiers didn't cheer. They didn't move. But something shifted. A quiet respect spread through them like wind over dry leaves. The kind of silence that says, "We saw, and we will remember." She didn't gloat. She didn't explain. She stepped back, picked up her medical pack, and turned away. A private stepped forward, eyes wide, face pale. "Ma'am, should we call the medics?" Lena didn't stop walking. She just said, almost gently, "You already did." Behind her, the colonel groaned, but the outpost was no longer his. The report came later, filed by multiple witnesses, all stating the same thing: excessive aggression, clear abuse of authority. The military tribunal moved fast. Lena didn't attend the hearing. She was already back at the forward aid station, treating another blast victim. She had work to do. Later that month, she received a handwritten note, and signed but delivered with an army seal. It read, "Honor doesn't raise its voice. It raises its standard." Some soldiers framed it. Others memorized it. One even tattooed it on his arm. And at that outpost, whenever things got rough, they didn't say, "Call the colonel." They said, "Get Lena." There are heroes who speak loud, and there are heroes who move in silence. Lena didn't seek power, but she stood her ground when it mattered most. She didn't shout. She didn't threaten. But when injustice came, for her, she answered with quiet strength. Because real honor doesn't need permission to defend itself. Wherever you're watching from, drop a comment. Let us know what silent strength means to you. And don't forget to subscribe for more true stories that honor those who fight their battles without needing to raise their voice.